Um, I'm here in the workshop atelier, and I'm making myself. It looks so burnt. It doesn't look as bad in real with the air fryer. And as I was doing this, I hope this looks good. Let me see how it looks if I look on the screen. I have to go really. This could be good. And here. I think this might work. I was almost closing the windows because people could hear me. I already hear somebody talking. I was thinking about something that popped into my mind, and I decided I want to talk about this too after I'm here. I like this format better because I don't like seeing myself now because I think I look sick. So this is better because it's in regard to these paintings. Let me close the window. I just think like somebody is standing in front of them and they're listening to me, just like on the side, just because I'm talking here and they find this curious. Yeah. I was also thinking like I hope one day I can be comfortable just being myself. I mean beyond accepting myself, because so that people, like somebody just sitting on the window, somebody talking, doesn't freak me out. Regarding to these pictures, what I got reminded of a oh man, I got reminded of a thing that happened. Somebody from the university, while I first started doing this painting. Let me also move the sink to the side again. I have this sink here. Okay, now. Regarding this painting, which I started doing in order to like sell it and try to find a place, and with place I mean a role in society that is funded, where I get money for the thing that I am. This is the ideal. And I felt myself terrible. So I called one of the people I knew, who I also know he made money with his art, a lot even. And the specific scenario was in my head, because sometimes these negative voices come up, and it's exactly like what I read in one of the papers that my therapist gave me about trauma. And one of them was what was that? Prolonging negative thoughts or something like this, you know, tuning out the positive and tuning in the negative. That was it. So this popped into my mind, exactly this conversation I had with him, because it was like I was in this. Let me just reconstruct the conversation. The part that was going through my mind was that I don't know where to begin. I'm just jumping right into that point we talked about. I mean, let me start with, I called him because I was like feeling, I was looking for some. It's not, you know, I know what I want to do, but I think I needed if somebody who's in the boat with me kind of deal. I don't know. Maybe is it emotional energy, the will to move on, because I felt myself terrible and I was hoping, I don't know. I called him and I didn't call him because yeah, it's too much. Like, let me go straight to the point. Like, we talk about this kind of stuff and he goes on to a monologue. 2 hours monologue, and then he's asked me that I show him some of my pictures, my paintings, and I sent him this painting, which is Taxi and Rain. This is part of the Day I Was Stuck series, and because I said I want to sell this, I am short on money. I have to find a way. This is why, and he said like, I mean, you won't get any money with painting this Depri Bilder. Like, he said it in a way, you know, these with your, like, what's it called? With this, it's a specific way of saying depression pictures. It's this, you know, when you have the emos kind of thing, like, and you, yeah, with your emo pictures, with your little emo pictures kind of deal. But he didn't say it in a condescending way. He just said it in this, you know, not in this flippant way, but, you know, in this. He was stepping into. But yeah, and then he said, you know, you have to, if you want to sell stuff on eBay, for example, you have to like do something that's a bit more interesting, or do something that's like, you know, you have to paint stuff like vases, and you know, you don't take the thing he says in my voice, because when I say it in a, you know my voice, but you have to imagine a little. You have to imagine Rob Schneider saying this. Basically, imagine Rob Schneider in the voice of Rob Schneider saying this, or in the voice of a comic relief character. Maybe this is a good voice. Saying this, that you can't make any money with these little emo pictures. Like, man, you have to do stuff that people like people in Germany are looking for stuff that's. Everybody sees like these depressing cityscapes. They have to do something that people are looking for. They want to go to a vacation, or you have to paint like nice things, like a vase, or, you know, like a vase, or like anime, because he does a lot of anime, So anime is going to be extremely popular, and if you haven't read, the news that there was the last anime movie that put Hollywood to shame, and it goes on with this stuff. And the worst part is that it's all sensible stuff, and if my parents were there, and yeah, okay, let me go on. Then he said, okay, this and this and this, and yeah, and I mean, I know what you draw. I mean, I know I'm great and I'm pretty good, but I would say that you approach, or you are almost, or actually you are kind of equal to me in ability. I mean, I know stuff that you don't know. I can do stuff that you can't do, but you can also do stuff like some of these, this computer stuff you are good at. So if you want, I can offer you that you can work for me. I'm gonna make a company where I get like some 10 people who work under me to do paintings from over paintings and stuff for me, so you can be one of my employees. Now I've said what he said. Let me give you an insight on my emotions. It was like, I mean, after that I said, like, okay, it's like he went on, continued talking, and at one point I didn't want to listen to him anymore. It's like I didn't get, I mean, Adam, if my art teacher Adam is listening, he might understand how it feels looking at these pictures and putting it into perspective with the feedback and this person's perspective, imagining Rob Schneider saying this. How you feel after that, when you were actually looking for some validation and you're hearing that. And let me say, that was the last strike when he offered me to. No, it was this. How I said, like, every single thing that he said was actually a strikeout. Like the first strikeout, it wasn't like, I'm not the strike type of guy. I'm not somebody who like, you are out after third strike. The world doesn't work like this. But like every single thing was actually a strikeout for me, leading up to this offer working for him. Like every single thing. Like first, you call my pictures debris pictures, which is like, it takes away the seriousness and you don't even understand what these things mean, or it's not even, and then you give me, say I should just do like vases or more interesting motives, Imagine, you have to imagine George Lucas coming around and telling David Lynch what type of art he should make. Imagine David Lynch having a tough time. He feels like the glass bridge that he was building shattered. It's just this feeling, like he feels down in the shit. And he has nobody, and he knows George Lucas, and he gives George Lucas a call, and George Lucas says to him, like, you have to do a little bit. Nobody cares about your little emo. David. Nobody cares about your little emo movies. You have to do a little bit more. Like people are looking for like adventures, and you have to make an adventure movie. This kind of deal. This is the feeling, like imagine the feeling, and then going on, like this was the first strikeout for me. It was already a strikeout. The second strikeout, the first strikeout was emo paintings. The second strikeout was like offer what I should paint, and with the anime, which is completely like not. This is to me is super. I mean, anime is cool, but like you understand, like. This is a personal experience I painted there, and I'm looking for money because I need money. but it's like, if you know that, some of the stuff, like I have no medium specific artist I moved by. It's always the common denominator for me is people who capture an essence of existence, I think, or who move me a lot. And I want to do, stuff that goes deep. And I don't like to do flashy stuff. I mean, I don't know. It's like, it's not what I want to do, and I want to get away from this. I want to be myself. I want to do something that's equally cool, but not what is hip, not what everybody else is doing. I don't know. I just don't want to copy anybody else. I want to be myself. So this was second strikeout for me. Like, first one was already a strikeout, but I stood out of politeness and out of, I just want emotional validation, I guess. So I already didn't I wouldn't take his advice to heart, but it stung, and because it's sensible what he says, because it's, to me, from my perspective now, he knows what works, and what it felt like is what I want to do doesn't work. So I have no other choice than to do what he does. This is how it felt in that moment. So it already felt like a kick in the nuts. One kick in the nut, second kick in the nut. And then him saying that, comparing myself to him, which I felt how dare you? Like, who the fuck do you think that you are? I'm not the type of guy who says stuff like this. I'm not somebody who goes around saying, who the fuck do you think that you are? But it felt like, why? How are I comparing myself to you? Like, I put you into my pocket, basically, but you know how to do oil paintings and how to copy stuff with how to do oil paintings, and you train every day, so of course you're gonna get better. But like, I don't know, it's just a comparison, and then it's not just a comparison and then putting us on the pedestals, onto a ranking list. This is not how, this is completely the wrong approach. It's a shitty, like, already, like, how you relate to me. It's not, I don't want to relate to people this way of being on the ranking list, because this is not what I'm about. To me, the medium is a tool, and I don't try not to pride myself. I mean, I do if I'm good. I like to reap the reward, but I don't want to put myself, because I know I will always lose. Or if I lose, like, I have a history of being a loser. So I know how it feels. And I don't want to do the things that hurts me. So it's not what I want to do. Like, sometimes I do it if I feel grandiose. That so yeah. And then this was the third strikeout. It's like, if we would have said any one of these things, any single one of these things, it would have been a strikeout. And then he tops it off with offering me to work for him as an employee. I mean, that's what I mean when my parents would be there beside me. They would like completely love this idea, and they would be like why didn't you accept this? Like, you had the chance, like, Ismail. Like, it's completely sensible, and of course, like, your paintings are very dark. Maybe you should try paint some. Like, my parents would also like completely agree with this person on every single point, on every single level. and they would be like completely baffled and think like, what the hell what am I doing? Am I thinking that I declined his offer of, you know, of not working for him? Like, it's completely unsensible. But I would like rather suffer than work for him. Yeah. And he was wondering why I don't call him. So often, and then at the end he offered me that we can sit together, have a coffee and talk about some of this stuff, business stuff. I almost forgot, like, yeah, I don't know, I want to make stuff that goes deep and is honest, and I don't know, Adam said my art has an honesty about it. Or did he say this? I don't know, I don't remember. I think I watched that consultation like also 100 times. I watched it while I was also showering or doing stuff to manage my stress. So it's, you know, I'm glad that I had this video, because the things that we talked, it wasn't enough that we had talked about it once. I forgot every single thing, and my memory, you know, I don't know how I say this. I don't want to say trauma because I haven't gotten the confirmation to be able to say to myself that it's something with trauma. But for now, for this moment, I say my trauma memory has rewritten the things that he said to say something negative or say something discouraging. Not directly, but just in constellation, or the what's that called, the logical conclusion of it, invalidating me emotionally. So I had to hammer it into my head by rewatching it over and over and over and over again, different moments, different times, until the image seeped into me emotionally. The words, the correct meaning of the words seeped into me emotionally. Even after watching it 10 times, something like, I had like a moment, wait a second, I took out new meanings I didn't notice before. It was like I was so focused in this moment of not, as I was talking with him, I was so preoccupied of not appearing, not much preoccupied, but to part enough that I wasn't able to pay full attention, with not appearing bad. So I had to rewatch it with full attention to get the process out of this. So to me it's like interesting, and I'm glad. And if I do stuff like this, important stuff, if I would decide to get a life coach, which I think I would do after I got therapy and after I had after I have my factory job, that I hope, like, I want to do stuff that's related to, I've learned technical drawing in trade school, and I built like stuff like this. I don't have my machines here that I did in drawing school, which are 3D printed, but stuff like this, and that is related to this, like building windows in this factory, production kind of thing, where I do stuff with, I want to show a picture one day that I took, and I will take this picture and put this into my application too. I'm afraid of applying because of everything, because of me, because of myself, how I feel about myself. And yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. There was something else I forgot. Oh yeah, the consultation. I was thinking about uploading that consultation because I watched what's it called? I watched one of the sessions some student of Adam had, which he decided to upload, and just like seeing this, like seeing how Adam is, for example, how Adam is with other people, to validate myself that, my image, that he is not just putting on whatchamacallit, he's not just putting on a formula and he's just repeating a formula with every single person, and it felt more personal looking back onto my own stuff. He didn't say the world needs your art to everybody, or I don't know. Which is like the perfect, which is like the world needs my. It's the soothing from my grandiosity. Like, this is exactly what I want to hear. Yeah, but I found, because of other people, it's not just there's also some part of it, like, oh goddamn, this guy, no. It's also to a part after I had this experience, putting myself, like, I think some people, it would be interesting for his other students or other people who had maybe a consultation with him, or were maybe also curious about how he is, it's just interesting. I mean, beyond the content, it was not necessarily about the content, although I liked when they were talking about the movie, and was it the lighting within movies? I think, no, it was something else. It was also interesting, but just to have the perspective of how he is, I don't know, not necessarily how he is, but it's just interesting to, but I didn't want to just upload it because I think it's like, I wanted to ask Adam before to know if he's comfortable me uploading this, to give other people an insight on just this, I would say, the specter, or this perspective. I mean, it's like, it's so 100 different things you can read out of this. Yeah, I wanted to ask Adam before. I just not want to go around and just, like, maybe expose stuff, because I think these things people usually keep close to themselves. So me opening up about, before that, I would have done it to get attention. But now I know this is like, I feel dirty, and this feels, selling this undervalue. Now I have a great motivator to do this too, because the insight's interesting, and I know what it did to me watching that from the other person. Yeah. Now I have a fourth one too, a fourth canvas, and when I ask my it's already 30 minutes, so I think I wrap it up here. Thank you for listening and your discretion. I want to